tattoo connoisseur. Tattoo connoisseur.
Tattoo connoisseur.
Hey guys, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. If you are new, thank you so much for clicking on my video, and if you are an OG returning viewer, clicker, subscriber, all that, thank you a little bit extra. Now today's video is a little bit different. I have always wanted to do different things on my channel, and I feel like with the current situation of the world, I have been doing a lot of different things, and that's mostly because makeup just seems so trivial right now, and I honestly haven't been very creative or been wearing makeup or been wanting to wear makeup, all that kind of stuff. I've canceled my makeup subscriptions, stuff like that, so I'm not really doing too much on that end. I do have a full face of first impressions that will be going up somewhat soon. I'm waiting for my package. I am going to also be decluttering my makeup, so I just kind of wanted to treat myself and do that and just test out some new makeup. It's been a while, so yeah. But regardless, today's video is different. Today I've wanted to do this video for a while, and I have posted about it here and there on my Instagram, like asking if you guys would want to see it, and I don't know if I can find the original post because it was so long ago where I asked if you guys wanted to see a video about this, but I know that the overwhelming majority was yes. So obviously, as you can see with the title, today we're talking about tattoo regret, and I got my first tattoo on my 18th birthday, and I am 24 now, so I have had about 6 years to let this whole thing, what's what I'm looking for, come together. I've always found this topic interesting, especially when I was doing research, you know, when I was first thinking about tattoos and all that kind of stuff. So we're just gonna dive in today. I'm just gonna tell you about, you know, like my story and my tattoos and why I have tattoo regret and kind of like my advice, I guess I would say. So if you want to hear more about that, then let's just get into it. So, like I mentioned, I got my first tattoo on my 18th birthday. It's still one of my favorite tattoos. I had always wanted tattoos. One of my cousins, who is much more like an older brother to me, I love him so much. He is covered, and he was in like a touring rock band and everything. So, I mean, like sleeves, everything, totally covered. So other than that, I didn't have any family members that were really heavily tattooed or anything, but I don't know if that really affected me at all, but I did look up to him and I admired him always, and he had such a cool life. And you know, when you're a kid, you definitely like put those things together, you know what I mean? He was living like a rock star life, and so I don't know if that had any influence on me, but I did always admire them. I always was so excited when he got a new one and he would show it to me. I thought it was so cool. Obviously, I'm a very creative person. I have always liked to draw and paint. I'm not the best. I'm like slightly above average when it comes to stuff like that. I just love art, and I've always viewed tattoos as art, and it really is an art. I respect it. I actually wish I could. For so long, I really was hoping that my drawing would improve. I didn't put the effort into it though, like I should have if I really cared enough. I would have loved to become a tattoo artist myself one day. So this is in no way like a hate tattoo video, because I, you know, still have the majority of my tattoos, and which I'll get into, and I still love almost all of my tattoos. So anyway, I got my first tattoo at 18. I got roses on my hip, which I know roses are like but it had sentimental value, and it was just really fun. My mom took me, and it was actually filmed partly for I forget, some documentary on a UFC fighter. His wife was my tattoo artist, and they weren't even there to film me, but they thought that my tattoo was slightly more interesting because it had like shading and stuff, and the girl who they were originally gonna do was just like scripture, which was kind of cool. So I was in a documentary for like 0.2 seconds, but anyway, so that was kind of fun, and I loved it. And it really is one of those things where, you know, if you appreciate art, I think especially, the pain is always worth it, because, you know, when you look back, you're like, okay, that was only a few hours of my life. Now this is on my body permanently, and I love it, and it's like a part of me now. It's a way for me to express myself. You know, a lot of people get tattoos for a lot of different reasons too. Some people just get them for the aesthetic, which I think is totally okay too, and some people get them for sentimental reasons. Mine was kind of both. I wanted to get something pretty. I love flowers. I always wanted a sleeve of like flowers and like a garden kind of sleeve, and I honestly would still love one, but I don't think I would anymore, which again, we'll get into all this later. So that was my first tattoo. That was my first tattoo my senior year of high school. And then for graduation, my friend and I got tattoos together, not matching, but we did get them. It was like my graduation gift to her. I got one, and actually I got two very close together, and it just kind of like spiraled. And I did also move out at 19, and in moving out, it teaches you a lot, but it doesn't teach you things right away. It teaches you certain things right away, and a lot of other things take a few years, but you learn them much earlier than other people. So I moved out, I had all, you know, complete freedom, and I still loved tattoos, and I just kept getting them. And I also had a good amount of money saved when I moved out, and I foolishly spent a lot of it on tattoos. I didn't like bleed myself dry just to get tattoos, but I never questioned if I could get one. I was like, I have the money, I'll just use my savings, which is stupid because, you know, I didn't realize the financial implications of moving out. And I also have parents that have made me very, very self-sufficient, very independent, and I appreciate that more than they probably even know. You know, I was waitressing, I was making good money for a teenager, and I saved up money, bought a car, moved out all on my own and everything. So I never asked them for money, and they weren't going to bail me out. And they always told me that, you know, and they weren't very supportive of tattoos, which I, of course, am not upset with them for in any way. So I moved out, got a bunch of them, and fast forward to, I think I got about 6 of them between my 18th and 19th birthday. That's a lot in a year. My body changed. I was a little bit of a late bloomer in a way. I got my curves late, I got my boobs late, I got my butt late. And I did just gain a little weight in general too, but my body did change, and it did actually change how some of the tattoos looked on me. And that was like, I was just like, whoa, you know, like I didn't think my body was going to change, but like, why would I not think that? Even if think about even after I give birth when I'm much older, like your body's going to change. So I should have thought a little bit more about that. It was my biggest one. I could really hide the majority of my other ones, which I do appreciate. I do recommend, especially when you are young, when you're under like 21, do not get a super visible tattoo. At least you can cover it easily. I wouldn't recommend getting anything on your arms unless it's something really small, or on your wrist or something, unless you are sure of your profession, because that is something I'm especially grateful for now that I didn't get any tattoos on my arms. I forever thought I was going to be a nurse, go into the medical field, and when I was going through clinicals and everything in college, I mean, the field had changed. Like tattoos were very much accepted, or you just had to wear a t-shirt under your scrubs, and you're covered pretty much head to toe, so it actually gave you that freedom. I mean, when I was doing my clinicals, I had nurses that were training me that had Monroe piercings, eyebrow piercings, complete sleeves, chest tattoos. I mean, it was, and they're working in nursing homes too, so it wasn't like it was hindering me from my profession, which I'm glad that I did think about that, and I still kept them fairly hidden. But when I got my thigh piece, I immediately just felt the stares, I felt the judgment, and I didn't like it. I felt like people really looked at me like a tattooed person. And not that that's a bad thing at all, but I never got used to it. Not that I never stopped caring, but I just didn't like it. And the more I almost didn't like it on my body, and I don't know if it was from the judgment. Like now I know it's not just that, but that could have been part of it. So placement is so important. And you also, of course, want to make sure that you're going to someone who has, or a shop that has good ratings, an artist that has good reviews, and like is recommended to you. I mean, the worst thing ever is getting a bad tattoo, even if you only paid like $50 for it. Be safe, be sterile. Tattoos are so dangerous. That's a whole nother video, but you definitely need to be safe and smart with your tattoos if you're gonna get them at a young age. That's my biggest recommendations. So I actually put up a poll on Instagram. Let me see, I just put it up, so it probably doesn't have like that many votes on it, but let me just see. Okay, well, it's at 100% no right now, and it has quite a few votes actually. Okay. So I'll put it up on the screen here. That if I didn't point out that I have a wicked faded tattoo on one of my thighs, would you have even noticed? And everyone said, oh my God, no. It's kind of a crappy picture too, but that was the point. So I have been getting my thigh tattoo removed. It's been a very long process, and I actually haven't done any laser treatments in a while. It's so faded that it's like you can tell that it's getting lasered, so I'm not as self-conscious, because when you first start getting laser, it looks awful, obviously, and it's extremely expensive, so I've just held off on it the last year. And that will be a whole nother video, which I'll get into. But yeah, so that was really the tattoo that kind of led me to be like, maybe I went a little too crazy. And I do really like all of my other tattoos. Maybe eventually, if you guys want it, I can do like a tattoo tour or something if you guys are interested. I do want to do a full video on my tattoo laser removal. I don't know if I should do 2 parts because I'm not done with it. Maybe I could do a part 1 of what's happened so far and then a part 2 when it's done. Let me know if you'd want to see that, because it will be a while in between, so just let me know. But I do also love my other tattoos and I want to show them as well. So I think the biggest thing is anyone, like I said, I'm 24 now and I'm still a baby, trust me. But I think especially when you move out young or you go off to college or anything, you learn so much more about yourself, and your style changes, your vibe changes, your mood changes, your aesthetic changes. And I think that's why it's so important to be so smart about tattoos when you're young, because I always thought I was going to be heavily tattooed. I never thought it was going to be an issue. I thought I was always going to love them, and I never pictured myself getting laser, and here I am. So yeah, I definitely have a little bit of tattoo regret, and it's real and it sucks and it's expensive, and it's not something that I think anyone should have to deal with. It makes you feel like you were stupid and naive, and of course we all know that we are when we're younger, but we don't want to admit that. You know, it's still not fun, and like I said, it's expensive. You're either getting a cover-up or you're getting laser, and they're both expensive, they're both time consuming and stressful, and you don't want to go through any of it. I think total I have 10 tattoos. I think in total, let me
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
10. Yeah, I think I have 10. I think I just broke double digits. Eventually I'll go through and everything like that, but all my other tattoos I do really love, and I may get a couple more in the future, but not many. The only thing that would change that is if I did have a career change, because like I said, you know, I thought I was going to be a nurse forever, and now I'm in the legal field, and I feel like that's one of the few professions that just, it wouldn't budge. You know, if you're wearing suits and stuff, you can still cover them up, but it's just one of those things that it's still not going to be as accepted, and I don't know if it ever will be. I mean, I'm not an attorney, but I've never seen a heavily tattooed attorney, judge, paralegal, which is my position. I mean, I've just never seen it, besides little ones that, you know, a lot of people have and aren't as huge of a deal. But, you know, if I still wanted to get a sleeve one day, I couldn't do it in my current profession. So, and obviously I didn't think that that was going to happen to me when I was 18. I was going to have a total change in my profession. So that definitely had a huge part on it. But if by the grace of God or whatever higher power is out there, if I could ever, you know, create a makeup line or do something like of my dreams that would allow me to have more tattoos, I very well might. But in my current profession, no, and at my current age, no. And I do also have just some insecurities about my body that I need to fix before I put more tattoos on it, if that makes sense. Anyway, I'm getting a little off topic. So that's kind of like my tattoo story, my tattoo journey, and my tattoo regret. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know down below. Let me know if you guys have any tattoos that you love or that you hate, any crazy tattoos. I would love to do a video like reacting to bad tattoos. I think that's so funny. If you guys would want that, please thumbs up this video, and then I'll know, because I think that would be so funny. Not that I am like a tattoo connoisseur, but I have always done my research and gotten really good pieces. All of my tattoos are really well done. As always, I do want to extend the sincerest, most biggest thank you to everyone right now who is on the front lines working as an essential worker. I am just so grateful for everyone. I hope that everyone does their part and stays indoors, and that this is over with soon. I am in Massachusetts, so we are at the worst of it right now, and I'm just hoping in a month or so that we can go back to some sort of normalcy. Remember, this isn't all about you. This is about like literally the greater good. This is a true test of everyone's character right now. And make sure you check up on people, because the mental implications of this are really hard on a lot of people. And, you know, it's not them being selfish necessarily, that they want to go out and like don't know what to do with themselves. I mean, just make sure you're checking up on people that you love and care about. It means probably more than you realize. And send thank you cards to hospitals, a Starbucks gift card if you can, to any essential workers you know, so they can get a coffee before their grueling shift. Just the little things, right? Okay, please, thank you. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I see you guys in my next video.